What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the LTQ Wrestling Podcast. I am BDJ. Hopefully, you guys are enjoying your week. Going to be talking about the big wrestling news today. Ilja Dragunov is officially departing WWE. He chose not to renew his contract. It officially just expired. WWE wanted him back, but he said, you know what? I'm not being used here. I'm going to go do something else somewhere else. And you can't really blame the guy. He has not been used since WrestleMania. That's about 6 months. Hasn't been used at all. They haven't booked him in a match. They haven't booked him in a segment. He's been fully healthy. And you could just tell that WWE really had no definite plans for Ilja Dragunov. They didn't see him as a star. They saw him as just a mid card guy they could put on the show and they need to have a good match. He was pretty much the new Ricochet, where WWE only was going to use him to help other talent get elevated. He wasn't going to be the guy who was winning championships like that or is going to be in big feuds or anything like that. It's like, okay, we need to make the big casses, the Baron Corbins, the Trick Williams, the Oba Femis look good. You'll be that guy, but we're not going to make you a star. And it really is a shame because, I get it. He's not the best talker in the world, but he stood out. And yes, the tattoo, look, a lot of people didn't like it. It's a weird placement, the tattoo. I don't try to judge people's tattoos. You get what you want on your body, but it was very distracting at times to look at his tattoo, just like with Cody Rhodes. It's just like, whoa. But I don't know if that's something the WWE looked at and we're like, we can't push this guy. This tattoo is just not it. Even though they have to approve wrestlers getting tattoos, maybe it wasn't what they thought it was going to be. Who knows? Maybe it has nothing to do with that. But like, he was a guy years ago that Triple H was apparently very, very high on, that Triple H saw as a major star, a major player. That was years ago. Maybe this is a TKO thing. Maybe TKO was not wanting to push him and Triple H is. We don't know what goes on behind closed doors. I know everybody thinks Triple H is the one making every decision. That's just not reality. TKO has their fingerprints on a lot of this stuff, and maybe they didn't see Ilja Dragunov as a marketable star. Who knows? But years ago, there were reports that Triple H is very high on this guy, that Gunther, Ilja Dragunov, Solo Sikoa, and Braun Breaker, the four guys they see being the next four major stars in the company. Now, obviously, other stars have came along like Oba Femi, Trick Williams, and others that you could put away above some of those guys. But like, to hear that, and we did a podcast episode about how we were kind of surprised to hear Dragunov in that, but also we're like, okay, this guy's a unique skill set. Him and Gunther had some banger matches in NXT. WWE could see this as being a time to capitalize on this guy being so unique, and they didn't really do that. And yes, he had a United States title run, and it was a solid run. He had some open challenges, some very good matches with Carmelo Hayes, which it's like almost a best of seven series. Their match in NXT was really good. Like, this guy's work in NXT was so good. And then, just like many others, he gets up to the main roster, and there's not really a definite plan for him. It's just like, okay, you're here. What do we do with you? And that's a huge problem in WWE with a lot of wrestlers. This guy you could put as another huge miss by WWE. I get it. He can't talk the best, but he still is unique to the main roster audience. He's just like if you put Leon Slater on the main roster. He's unique compared to everybody else because he does something that nobody else does. Dragunov does something nobody else does with the hard hitting style and just the impact. And you go, every time he does something, that's unique. And that should get him over to the main roster audience. But WWE didn't really do anything with him to get you invested. Like, yeah, he held the United States title. At that time, the United States title wasn't really that relevant. So a lot of fans didn't really care about that championship. Trick has helped elevate it. I would say Mello helped elevate it. But like, that's not really going to get you over holding that title at that time period. They didn't really do nothing with him when it came to like a big feud that you really sunk your teeth into and went, yeah, I'm really invested in what Ilja Dragunov's doing. And I feel like WWE does this a lot where they blame the wrestler for not getting what they give them over. Like, you can only do so much with horrible ingredients to a recipe. Like, if I'm given something that ain't gonna really have much help to me, I mean, yeah, I could try my best to get it over, but I'm only gonna be able to do so much with what I'm giving. You know what I mean? And it really is a shame because I was really high on Dragunov. I loved his work at NXT. I thought this guy was gonna come to the main roster and really be something, and it just never happened. And we see that with a lot of wrestlers. Blake Monroe right now. It's been months since she's even done anything in the WWE, period. It's been like since April since she's even had a match. You put Carmelo Hayes in the same discussion of somebody who has all the talent in the world that WWE just doesn't see much in. And it really makes you scratch your head, like, what does WWE want to see in a wrestler, especially with Carmelo Hayes, because this guy can talk. He's a good heel. He can work. He was getting over with the crowd. It's like WWE only wants to push who they want to push. They don't care about what the fans have to say or who they want to push or whatever. It's like, okay, we want to push this person, or we only see them at a certain level. Yeah, we'll push them a little bit just to please y'all, but we're not going to give them a world title run. We're not going to give them a big push until they're 40 years old. And Dragunov's unfortunately a victim of that. And, it really makes me scratch my head when I see guys like Baron Corbin and Big Cass returning, because these are two guys who are in their 40s who have already done some stuff in the company, a lot more than the others, especially Baron Corbin. Baron Corbin's had a heck of a resume in WWE. Yes, he was never a world champion, but he won Money in the Bank. He won multiple, mid card championships. Now he's back winning the United States Championship over guys like Dragunov and Carmelo Hayes. And it's just, to me, what is the plan? Do you just have to be 40 years old for WWE to even give a shit about you at this point? Because you look at the men's main event scene, and outside of Trick, and Trick's not really a main eventer yet, but outside of Obafemi and maybe Braun Breaker, if you even put him in that discussion right now, everybody else is either 39 or maybe 37 and up. Gunther's like the youngest guy at 37. Like, that's not good. You're only going to be able to ride these stars so long until the wheels fall off. I get it. Guys like CM Punk and Roman Reigns and Seth Rollins and Cody Rhodes are all huge stars, but all these guys are getting up there in age. They don't have a lot of years left. And it's like WWE will just keep riding their coattails until they just retire, and then they start going, oh, okay, now we'll push this person when they're 38, 39, 40. Like, you look at Javon Evans. He's 22 right now. He'll have to wait 18 years before he's even put in the main event. That's if he even lasts that long. Like, it's just crazy to me. Like, at the end of the day, let's not get twisted. This is not going to affect WWE at all. This guy wasn't being used anyways on television. But it really is a shame that there's so many guys like Ilja Dragunov that are so talented that can obviously make an impact in WWE, and creative just fails them. And this is not the last person it's going to be at all. And there's already reports about potentially other names that are not being used having contracts expire. So we could be seeing more people like Dragunov head out the door. And at this point, look, I get some people think WWE is the end all be all for every wrestler, and every wrestler should just love being in WWE. I have a lot of friends like that. They don't watch a lot of wrestling, and they tune in once or twice a year, and they go, or they hear news about, or yeah, they go, oh, why did Sasha Banks leave WWE? Or, oh, I saw news about so and so leaving the WWE. Why would they leave? And if you're a casual fan, you might not understand it. But if you watch the shows weekly and you understand the backstage stuff and the backstage politics, and you read reports and all this stuff, you understand exactly why guys like Dragunov are, leaving the company. Like, what is the reason for him staying? There's a report, I think last week, saying they're not pushing this guy because, they can't market him. His merch sales are non-existent, all this other stuff. They don't see him as being a marketable guy you can put on TV and people are going to tune into, and they're going off social media clicks. But the thing is, what are you doing with Dragunov to make people want to click on the video, that make people want to buy his merch? I didn't even know he had merch in WWE, to be completely real with y'all. Like, I didn't even know that. Maybe one shirt. But, like, it ain't like they really tried to make this guy very marketable. They ain't tried to put him in anything interesting. So, like, it's on creative. Triple H can say all this nonsense he wants about, oh, you can't blame creative, just enjoy the show. Like, nah. You guys are the ones booking this wrestler. Yes, not every wrestler is going to be able to get over with the audience. You got to be able to talk. Dragunov wasn't John Cena on the mic. I completely understand that. But this guy had all the tools to be at least a valuable upper mid-card talent in this company. And to not be used for half a year is just nuts. Like, I just don't get it. But then we see guys like Baron Corbin and Big Cass, who were 40 years old, coming back and getting United States Championship title shots and win the championship, and attacking guys like Javon Evans, who should be on the way up, not getting beat up by 40-year-old dudes. Like, I don't get it. And this is just a big problem with WWE right now, yo. It's not going to stop anytime soon. But, like, there's a lot of misused talent. And yes, not everybody's going to be able to be a world champion. Not everybody's going to be able to be on TV every single week. But why call up some of these people if you have no plans for them whatsoever? Why call up Blake Monroe and Jordan Grace when you have no plans for them whatsoever? It just doesn't make sense. Like, I don't get it. So the big question is, what is next for Ilja Dragunov after leaving WWE? Where should he go? He's going to have no shortage of contract offers. AEW would love to have him. New Japan, he would fit really well with that hard-hitting style. I think that'd be a great fit for him. Maybe at MLW, TNA, possibly. I don't really see him going there, but it's a possibility. Like, there's many options for Ilja Dragunov. This guy will be utilized anywhere else better than he was in WWE. And if I had to make a prediction, AEW, they have so much people already there on the roster. Is he really going to be utilized any better? I think he'll be, used more, but will he stand out or really do much there? It's hard to tell. But they're probably offering the most money, and a lot of wrestlers want to get paid. But if it was up to me and we're going off best fit, I got to go New Japan. Even though New Japan's struggling really bad right now, and there ain't really a lot of talk about New Japan, and they're struggling financially, and they got new ownerships and all this other stuff. I think with their style of wrestling, I think Dragunov would do really well there. Maybe at MLW. Maybe. I mean, they have a solid roster. We'll just have to wait and see. But all in all, this is another huge miss by WWE, another big fumble, and another guy who just failed the WWE system due to the booking, due to the creative, whatever it is. And he should have been a lot better on the main roster than what he was. And we're going to see so much more talents get called up and get the same treatment as Ilja Dragunov and Blake Monroe and Jordan Grace and Javon Evans, where they get called up and they either start losing, they either get off TV for months, they're not even being utilized. And it's a shame because as a creative team, you should be planning these debuts out months ahead. And what are we going to do with this person? What is the plan? What is their ceiling here? It's like they just call up somebody and they're like, okay, we'll start off doing this 1 week. Okay, now what do we do with them? We don't know anything about their NXT run. We don't know anything about their indie run. Blake Monroe, one of the best women's wrestlers outside WWE, as Mariah May. And she goes to WWE, and even NXT didn't really know what to do with her too much. It's like they just signed her just to sign her, and we're like, okay, what do we do with her now? And hopefully she don't get the same treatment as Ilja Dragunov, where she eventually just leaves the company off of bad terms. We'll see. Let me know what you guys thought down below about Ilja Dragunov leaving WWE. Do you think it's a good move for his career? Do you think he shouldn't have stayed, gave another run? Let me know in the comments. Make sure to check us out on Spotify-LTQ Wrestling Podcast if you prefer to listen to your podcasting or your videos. We upload every video on there. And if you guys want to subscribe to the membership, I'm going to get that going once we get a lot of members going in that. Membership exclusive content, shorts, videos, all that for the channel. Hopefully you guys enjoy. Make sure to like and subscribe for more LTQ Wrestling Podcast content. Appreciate y'all as always. Peace.